Okay, in this solid edge example, we're going to show you how to move the base point of a part, mainly for those that are going to be dealing with step models for PCB design and want to bring that part in and have it automatically oriented in the proper location. So you don't have to do any relocation of that part to match it up with a footprint. So we're going to open up a step model. This will be a little connector. We bring it in as an ISO part, or you can choose ANSI part, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Just bring it in as a part, not as an assembly. All right, so there's our part. You can see that the origin is off in some weird location. So when I bring it into PCB tool, I would have to do some type of XY position remating process. What we're going to do is reorient this part so that we don't have to worry about doing that. All right. In Solid Edge, we have this feature called the steering wheel that allows you to reposition items using that function. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to align the steering wheel up here with the bottom of this pin. And then we're going to basically move it over there, and then we'll line it up with the bottom axis of this part. Pretty simple. So you just click on the orange dot in the middle when it highlights, come over to our pin. It'll automatically, it'll snap to one of the edges centers. That's what that little double bar icon is there. So when that you get that point, you just do a left click. It'll reposition the steering wheel in that location. Now what we want to do is we need to reposition so that we move along one of these arrow vectors here, that it automatically lines up and goes to the center of that. So to do that, again, you click on the little blue dot at the end. This will reposition the orientation of that steering wheel. And then we click in the center of the origin, and you'll see the little wand-like little line with a dot at the end icon pop up. You do a left click again. That repositions the wheel. And now we simply click on the arrow to move along that vector. And then again, we click in the center of the origin. The little wand will pop up, or the line with a dot. Left click again, and then hit accept. That will reposition our part now based on, you know, the center line of that pin. So now I want to move the plane, the bottom plane of that part, to the one of the axes of this origin. So to do that, again, we're going to move the steering wheel. So I'll click on the center of that and drag him up here, and you'll see it'll automatically snap to the bottom of that plane when you get near it. Now we don't have to reorient the vector, we're just going to move down. So again, we click on one of those, the up or down arrow, and now we're only going to move in that direction, the y-axis. So I can just click on the center of the base origin, and it will automatically snap down to that plane. Go ahead and accept that. All right. So now we've moved the part, so the base origin is sitting in the center of that pin, and it's on the top layer, or the top edge of the PCB. Now the only thing we probably need to do is make sure that the origin is actually centered in that pin, because that pin is square. Okay. So let's rotate this part down to the bottom. We'll zoom in here, and again, we're going to use that steering wheel to reposition the origin in the absolute center of this pin. Now to do this and make it easy, we're just going to draw a quick little construction line. So we'll click on the create construction line, hit the draw line command, choose the bottom of that pin as a plane, and then you can see it automatically highlights where the center of that edge of that pin is. I'll draw it up to the other end of that pin. That will give us the center line. Now I can escape out of this command, hitting the select button up here. Now we can choose the body of this part again and reposition the steering wheel now to the center of that line. Okay, so now it's telling me that I'm on the center, snap to the center of that line. All right, and then we're just going to move in the X direction here. to the base point again, just like we have 2 times already. Same little icon will pop up. It'll move that pin to that location. We accept the move. So with 3 simple move commands, now we have this part perfectly lined up in the center of our 0, 0 point, our base origin point. All right, now the only other thing I probably have left to do here is, I don't know if you noticed, but the Z-axis is in the wrong direction. So if this came into a PCB, the connector is going to be facing down into the board because the Z-axis is always going to be up in your PCB design. So I need to rotate this part 90 degrees, basically. So we'll choose the body again, move the base origin point to the center location. Here. Okay, and then I just need to rotate this over. I don't want to rotate the thing this way, although I can do that if I needed to. But now I need to rotate this wheel up. So to do that, I can hold down the Shift key, and you'll see this little orange plane here in the center of this that will highlight. You can kind of see it there. Hold down the Shift key and click on that, and it will rotate the wheel around on that plane. So Shift click it again, and now it's in the direction that I want to be able to rotate this part. So instead of using the vertical or the straight vector arrows here, I can use the rotational part of the wheel. If I click on that, this thing now will allow you to rotate that part at different angles. Now, I don't have to sit there and try and figure it out. I can just type in 90 degrees. It'll pop in there and hit enter. And now we're lined up on the Z-axis. Go ahead and accept that change. All right. So now we have a part that has been lined up on the Z-axis and on the X and Y planes. So that when we bring this part into a PCB tool, it'll automatically snap to the origin of that footprint and be rotated in the proper direction. So we shouldn't have to do any mating process in the PCB file itself. All right, thank you for watching this tips video on how to reorient a part to position your 0, 0 to match up with your PCB footprint. Oh, we do need to save the part back out as a step file now so we can use it in the PCB. We do need to reorient that part now so we can save it off as a step file so that we can. Okay, last step is to save the file back out as a step file so that we can now import into our PCB. So hit the start button there, save as. And then from the save as types here, we're going to choose step, and you can just give it a different name. I'll just call it ROT for rotate. Hit save. Now that's exported out the step file, so we can bring it in to our PCB tool. Thank you again for watching this quick tip video on how to reorient it apart so that it comes in and lines up automatically in your PCB tool.